We need our weed. I don't wear it, but we need it.
We are.
How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the Black community?
I'm telling you, man, this the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
Give me the money. Give me the money for OL out you. Give me the money.
y'all come to Houston for spring break, bro.
By the way, no one made an announcement that spring break is in Houston. Black people just all said they're going to Houston. That's it. Because Houston has been the place where African Americans have been saying that the culture of partying and wilding out is still very vibrant. Clubs open till 6 a.m., right? So clubs never close, which is usually a big thing. The strip clubs are lit, just much more liberal rules. Things are cheaper. So Houston is the place. It is what it is. I'll also say spring break, as it's intended for college students, you got people who's 45 that's going to spring break. Spring break is just turned into a black people meetup. And the college element of you're going there because you have a break from college because you're a college student, that's at the back burner. It's just a place. It's turned into Bike Week. Does anybody remember Bike Week? That's essentially what it's turned into. You're seeing like 5 or 10 people packed in a Camaro. You're seeing people just squabbling at the rodeo. You know, good old black people fun. You're seeing, of course, Deshae doing his thing at some pool party. Look at these guys. Now, we've identified 2 individuals. They have said that they're the final bosses of spring break in Houston. So apparently they're like the mayors. Like these guys are like Jay Prince of spring break in Houston. Check them out.
That's what it is, bro. No way you can hate on this shit, man. Everybody trying to come to Houston. Everybody keep making these TikTok videos about coming to Houston, this and the third, trying to get up with these bitches and shit like that and try to have fun with these hoes. The main thing y'all leaving out is the people who live in fucking Houston that you're going to have to run into. We are the fucking final bosses. If we're outside, kiss your bitch goodbye, nigga.
Well, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is in the headlines every single March. But this year, not just for the concerts and the competition.
So this has a lot of people talking. After several weekend incidents forced the carnival to close early on Saturday, officials, they're clarifying expectations on the rules. And that does include revised dress code. So McKenna Earnhardt is live at Energy Park with what you need to know before you head out to the gates. You probably need to fix your wardrobe if it's a little skimpy.
Yeah, as you ladies know, fashion is always a huge part of the rodeo. But this year, a different trend has been going viral. Pictures and videos circulating on social media of what people are calling more club wear than rodeo wear. And so we've got those photos here for you. If you take a look at your screen, we blurred them, but you'll see what kind of sparked this conversation. So rodeo officials are emphasizing that this is and always has been a family-friendly event. The updated policy states that any clothing deemed inappropriate or showing excessive skin could result in you being turned away at the gate or asked to leave. The policy also bans any clothing, tattoos, or accessories with gang affiliations. And face coverings are prohibited unless they are for cultural, religious, or medical reasons.
Back in school, they would tell us, the fingertip rule. If you have like a hemline, you want it 2 below your fingertips. How are your security guards and staff trained on this?
What they're going to be looking for is things that are just inappropriate, right? And so you know it when you see it. And so we don't want to single people out. We want to give them the opportunity to address their whatever they're wearing so they can come in and have a good time. But again, this is a family-friendly event, and we want to make sure if it's that everyone here is comfortable with what they're seeing around them. And there's lots of different ways you can describe that, but I think all of us know what's appropriate and what's not.
We were talking about it even before we found out it was in place, just some of the questionable things we've seen, and being able to bring our kids to a family-friendly atmosphere is really important to us. So yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Step right up.
Now, if you do happen to get stopped at the gate, they said they'll try and work with you so you can change, but if not, you will be asked to leave. And if you try to do the whole keep the clothes in your bag and change in the bathroom trick once you're in, there's people around the grounds that will ask you to leave as well. Now, as for what people are thinking out here, I've talked to a lot of people, and we took a poll over on the Fox Local app asking what people think, and it seems like most are on the rodeo side. 94% of you on the Fox Local app said that you agree there should be a dress code here. So if you haven't taken that poll, you should head over and look at it. For Fox 26, I'm McKenna Earnhardt.
All right. And here's that question that McKenna mentioned. Do you agree with the new restrictions? Well, an overwhelming majority of you do. And here are a couple of comments we want to share with you. Thank you so much, first of all, for commenting. And you can still do it by scanning that QR code on the right side of your screen. Top right there. Christina and Tomball saying it's the rodeo. It's family friendly, not a club. Tony in Kingwood says, yes, we as adults should be role models for our children. Again, scan that QR code. I know a lot of people have comments on this. We've been talking about it all day long, and we would love to hear from you. You can also go to our website, fox26houston.com, and click on Vote Now, and then let your voice be heard that way.
I think people should be allowed to wear what they want to wear, and you do your best with what you got.
I think it's good because a lot of young adults and children come here. This is not the capital.
People that, they wear really revealing clothes, but now I think that's going to change, and I think everybody's going to look a little bit more better. Jeans, some boots, something like that brings out that rodeo culture.
I think people should be allowed to wear what they want.
I mean, it makes sense. A lot of people bring their kids out and don't want their kids to see that. So I think it's awesomeness for that.
But I fully support the ban on the risque clothing. Yeah, it's no reason for it in a place like this.
I'm in favor of the new dress code rules because the Houston Rodeo really is a family event. I don't mind people expressing themselves and wearing cute outfits, but it really isn't like a club. It isn't like a place to show off everything and be sexy. It can be, but when there's children around, I think we need to be respectful of that.
I believe that this is a family-friendly environment, and I feel like our kids should be comfortable to walk through. We should be comfortable to walk through with our children and our men, our wives and our grandparents, and not have to worry about seeing, a BBL booty poking out the shorts, or somebody's cleavage hanging all out. You can still look cute and be covered up. So that's how I feel about it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts now. Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. We begin with breaking news and a Factor exclusive. The Houston Rodeo is announcing here on The Factor, they're tightening up a dress code that aims at addressing what you all have been talking about, clothes worn by some that pushes the envelope of decency off the damn desk. The new dress code policy reads, clothing that is not appropriate for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo grounds includes, but is not limited to, clothing with objectionable material, including obscene language or graphics, excessively torn cloth, visible undergarments, and or clothing which by nature exposes excessive portions of the skin that may be viewed as inappropriate for a family environment. Wearing clothing, visible tattoos, or any other attire bearing the name, insignia, colors, or indicia of affiliation to a criminal street gang is prohibited on the rodeo showgrounds. This latest news also comes as Houston experienced a perfect storm involving an early shutdown of the rodeo's carnival on Saturday and waves of spring break crowds all over the city of Houston. Some say it's a nightmare that damages the city's reputation, while others say Houston becoming the destination for spring break is good economic news.
Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys coming out. Hit that like button for me, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. We have to talk about Houston. Not only is there the Houston Rodeo happening right now, there's also just spring break which is probably what made the Houston Rodeo thing such a spectacle this year. The convergence of the Houston Rodeo crowd, which is its own normal thing that seems to happen every year without much event. And then there is this sudden Black spring break in Houston. It just manifested, like Black people just manifested themselves in Houston for spring break for some reason. I don't think it was organized. Wasn't like a Jet 2 holiday campaign or whatever. Like Black folk just wound up in Houston. And between those two events, we had a cultural moment happen. I don't think white women are the major reason why they decided to implement a dress code policy at the Houston Rodeo. White women have been going to the Houston Rodeo for a long time. And typically before this year, the outfits at the Houston Rodeo weren't really all that shocking. Most of the outfits at the Houston Rodeo basically like this. Let me kill that music. Copyright strike music. Look, she was even respectably cute. Cowgirl cute, you know? But it's probably all downhill beyond that. But most of the outfits at the Houston Rodeo weren't like completely risque. And typically, you don't have a lot of risque outfits. Those girls are pushing the limit, but you know, a lot of cleavage typically at the Houston Rodeo. And I'm noticing a lot more melanated cleavage than non-melanated cleavage, but you know, this is why we're doing the show today. A lot more melanated cleavage out there at the Houston Rodeo already in this tame video. But as you can tell, it's generally not a crowd full of like scantily clad, booty cheek popping women. Generally speaking, this year happened to be different. I don't know why.
Joining us to talk about it, DJ Preem of the Chef Radio Network, media personality Nate, influencer Houston's Lala, businessman Rob Wright of Chapman and Kirby, and William Gonzalez, who actually witnessed fights at the Houston Rodeo this weekend. Guys, glad to have you here on The Factor on.
Yeah, not only was there an excess amount, like a notably large amount of cleavage just floating around the Houston. There was so much ass and cheeks floating around the Houston Rodeo, it literally made the news. You know how much ass and cheeks have to be out in one area to make the news? Like you have to be like saturated with ass and cheeks to make the news. And not only did that happen, there were fights and robberies, a lot of car break-ins, just general hooliganry happening in Houston.
And so, Lala, you and I text this weekend. You were pissed off about what you were seeing around this city. Let's talk about that.
It's crazy. Like, I feel like just times have changed. From the rodeo, yeah, the way that people are dressing. I'm all for being sexy. You know that. You see my post, but there are limits and boundaries. A lot of booty being shown at a family rodeo place is inappropriate. There are levels to being sexy as far as that goes. Spring break is insane, has been insane in Houston. A lot of fighting, a lot of violent stuff. And I think it's just that young crowd that really just doesn't know how to act anymore. They want to do it for social media. It's just really sad to see that. I'm all for a good time. I've been there. You know, I'm more old school, but there has to be boundaries. But to me, that is Houston now. It is 2026. This is Houston. Like, from my front yard, I seen the four-wheelers and dirt bikes, and my video went viral. That's just common in Houston to see that. It just from the spring break to the rodeo, there has to be more boundaries, but I don't see it changing. You know,
Rob, as a businessman, and the spring break is good for.
Thank you, token Mexican lady. Appreciate your valued input. Why is she here, by the way?
business.
Sure it is.
Your thoughts about what you're seeing and the end game, which is the economic impact.
Exactly, 100%. So hospitality in the Houston area makes up like 10% of our total economy. So with this being said, this is a good, infusion into our economy from a very slow fourth quarter and starting off in the first quarter. So we welcome, we really welcome, the economic impact that has occurred. Like anything, like Super Bowl, All-Star, MLB, everything has to be managed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to prepare for these big weekends. What do you?
You have to manage the booty. When there are a bunch of black people congregating in a general area, hundreds of black people converging on a particular area, you're going to have to bring out booty management specialists, okay? There will be an abundant, that's the word I'm looking for, an abundant amount of cheeks just populating the atmosphere. And you're going to have to manage that. You're going to have to set up like little orange traffic cones, guys with those lights that they guide the airplanes with. You're going to need those runway control guys. You're going to have to manage the booty.
Doing as a business owner to prepare for large crowds? Have you talked with your security team? Have you enhanced that? Do you have, internal, things in place to prepare for the onslaught? Chapman and Kirby, needless to say, yeah, we brag about being the largest day party in the country. We are, but we did take the preparations to prepare for it.
Mm-hmm. All right, William, you were there at the rodeo. And for those who are wondering, we will have a statement from the rodeo right near the end of this segment. We also want to hear what they have to say. And keep in mind, the rodeo is about children and scholarships and educating a lot of young people.
Oh, dear God, will someone think of the children? All this booty floating around the Houston rodeo, and no one thought of the children. Shame on you niggas.
How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the Black community?
Millions of dollars raised over 5 decades, and they continue to do that, but many people just don't know that. So, William, you were at the rodeo. You took some video. Your thoughts about what you saw?
Man, the rodeo the carnival has been very crazy this past weekend. It was actually the first time I go this year. I was in line waiting to get my turkey leg. And, I actually wanted to get a fried cheesecake.
So I just wanted to get a turkey leg, and I was visually assaulted by cheeks, man. All I wanted was a nice, succulent, juicy turkey leg. And here you come with your big ass booty cheeks, man. Just ruin the turkey.
My girlfriend wanted to get a, fried over.
Oh, he was with his girl. And that's why it was ruining the turkey. He was with his girlfriend. You can't be coming around, nigga, trying to buy a turkey leg with his girlfriend, and you got your booty cheeks all dripping on the floor. You ruining the turkey leg experience. Now she looking at him like, I dare you, nigga. I dare you. I dare you, nigga.
That was something we were looking forward to most of the night after, doing the rides and stuff like that, and having fun with the games. Next thing you know, we were waiting in line, and all these random fights just started breaking out of nowhere. I'll see a fight here, a fight there. It was just complete chaos. I counted at least 12 fights that I witnessed my own self, 12 fights.
Were you shocked at that? And we're looking at some of the video you captured here. Were you shocked at that?
I was not shocked at all. No, because before...
I was not shocked at all. No. I don't like how comfortably he said that. I don't like how casually he said that shit. I feel a little bit racially insulted by that. He's like, no, I wasn't shocked at all. What do you mean?
There's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population.
Video you captured here. Were you shocked at that?
I was not shocked at all. No, because before even that happened, there was already chaos, people running around, trying to cause a stampede, saying that there was an active shooter, or there was shots being fired. But I looked around and the cops were just calm. So right after, as the night went along, there was already fights breaking out.
Do you think that was intentional, that they were screaming fire in the building?
I think it was intentional, just to cause panic and chaos, because I believe, and it has been shown that there's a trend happening.
It's for social media. It's for
social media
attention.
clout,
And that's
for
why I
clout.
say it's this younger generation that wants to do it for attention. It's crazy. But
All right,
it's so
DJ
dangerous.
Free. Y'all ain't raising y'all kids, and now they're unleashed on the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm outside, so I'm actually in the clubs outside for spring break, and what I'm seeing is, like they saying, a lot of chaos. Not really inside the clubs, but afterwards. You know, when everybody's going to the after hours and trying to get into bad habits or good mood or 27-27, they actually made up a thing called Club Gas Station, which was actually the gas station next to Prospect Park.
Club Gas Station. Now, I've heard about this. You know, it is very much a Southern culture thing. I heard, you know, Atlanta does this, but, you know, I guess it's just broadly a Southern thing. Texas does it as well. You niggas hang out at the gas station, even after the gas station is closed. There's nobody in there, nobody behind the register. You can't even get no gas at this motherfucker. And they just be out there 100 deep, sitting in their cars, smoking weed, girls pulling up, everybody just hanging, chilling.
They literally took it over like Friday, Saturday, and they tried to do an actual club gas station on Sunday. Shout out to HPD because they shut it down and made sure it wasn't going to happen. But what I will say about the whole situation, like I said, there has been a lot of chaos. There has been a lot of, like they were saying, fights. But I will say they haven't been really violent. Like how it could be, it hasn't been how it, you know, or whatever. But it's been a lot of chaos.
All right,
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, kids, college students, people have been parking lot pimping since back in the day. Everybody hangs out afterwards. You go to the after spot. There's always going to be a couple of bad actors that make, you know, everything worse. And also, people are disrespectful sometimes, and they F around and find out that, like, hey, I'm with it. Again, with social media, clout, nobody wants to get caught getting beat up on video. So I do think that enhances everything. It's like you say, because everybody's videotaping everything. So it's like, okay, we're.
It sounds like Auntie is kind of giving cover to this whole thing. I don't want to jump all the way down her back, but like it sounds like you giving cover to this, big Auntie. What do you mean? What are you really trying to say here now?
As you might normally, I'm just, you know, I'm gonna diffuse everything.
Slide, yeah.
But it's like you just can't get caught getting pumped on camera like that nowadays. You just can't. You'll never live it down.
Horrible
So that,
situation.
yeah, it just
We're not done
heightens
with
it.
this conversation just yet. Now, the Factor asked Houston Rodeo representatives about what else will be done about keeping the peace at the event. Here's their response, and it says, we hold daily meetings with law enforcement and are working with them on an elevated level. Law enforcement and Rodeo are actively monitoring social media and deploying additional officers as needed. Together, we are taking proactive steps to help ensure this type of incident does not occur again and to maintain a safe environment for our guests. And of course, we'll be back and continue this conversation right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, you know what? Let's take a break and take a peek at the white side of the rodeo. I wonder what the white folks were up to while all you niggas was out there causing ruckus and making the news and shit.
$1 million bid. $1 million. Hildebrand family in honor of Brittany Ann Hildebrand at $1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a new world record by leaps and bounds.
And save America. These are the kids that are going to save America. They really are. And so they are the legacy of our country. So thank you, Lamb and Goat Committee.
That we first broke here on The Factor tonight. Some writing that's too late for the policy, despite there being a week left of the event. And next year, you still got next year. One of the new rules, no exposed body parts that would be looked at as inappropriate for a family environment. They also talk about exposed skin. Joining us now for reaction, fashion expert and media specialist Brigitte Waugh and media personality Nate. So Nate, you're seeing what people are responding, saying it's too late and
never too late, never too late. Okay, it's never too late.
Right.
Because I mean, you still have a week this week. You know, you can overnight some stuff. You know, there's a lot of places to go shopping to get your clothes so you can be, you know, somewhat appropriate or to make sure you're not getting kicked out. The world is just a lot more casual. People are more empowered. They're comfortable showing cheeks and all those things. They're seeing performers in their cheeks. The world is a stage. Everybody got video. They need content, you know, so it's the nature of where we are in society right now.
Should you be thinking about the children at this event because it is a carnival?
I think that is a nice thing that people like to say. You know what I mean? They like to say, think of that children. But, you know, everybody's thinking about the money. They're letting people in. They don't want to distract people. But then, you know, you're still getting more follows and everything when you talk about the women in the clothes and this and that. The performers are sexy. It just kind of is what it is. But yeah, think about the children. That's how them children get made, though. You know, at the rodeo, that's how they get made.
Brigitte, is it unfortunate that we have to go down this path?
It is unfortunate because the Houston Livestock and Rodeo is like a staple in Houston. And now all of a sudden we have to put in a dress code. It's almost like common sense, people. Come on.
Who is responsible for them implementing the dress code? It's almost like they're acting like the dress code just fell out of the sky. Can we call the beast by its name?
Dress appropriately, and like you guys said, think about the children because that's how they get made. But it is, you know, when you go to the carnival, it's the little people, and I don't want to see butt cheeks and TNA in the middle of the day. You know, if a kid is there, or even in the evening, if you go, and I want to see that. I don't have a kid, but even if I did, I wouldn't want my child to see that.
And Nate, what would be the mentality that someone would justify that in their mind, knowing that this is a family event? And at its core, people, you know, I don't even think they realize the millions of dollars raised at the rodeo to help children with education, scholarships, you know, hundreds of scholarships each year. But do they take that? No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful, and I don't think they take it into consideration. They're saying that their money that they're paying, they're going to wear what they want to wear.
Right.
And that's just that period. And they think that is good. And those same people, whenever they complain about that, I'm like, but you let your kids watch the entertainers who are showing their booty cheeks. Like, so it's like, it's where is the line? You know, I mean.
This is why, generally speaking, you can't leave morality in the hands of women. They just don't have an internal defense against immorality. Apparently, they don't know where the line is.
It's like people, whenever they complain about that, I'm like, but you let your kids watch the entertainers who are showing their booty cheeks. Like, so it's like, it's where is the line? You know, I mean, I think there's been all these things of like, yeah, you're right, it's crossed, but like, you'll have the Free the Nipple campaign, this campaign, everybody should be free. So it's like, there is no line. And I think that, you know, they're not.
If she can free her nipple, I can free my booty cheek. Where's the line? Where is the line, ladies?
Trying to intentionally offend the children, but what they're trying to do is do whatever they want to do because they paid their money and they're happy and they're fine.
And I brought you this comment I saw on Instagram. Somebody said, I was fine with it until they said tattoos.
Right. Well, with the tattoo part, it's about, I think it was more about like the gang affiliations. And, you know, again, that's for the police task force or the gang task force to deal with. Tattoos in general, I mean, people wear tattoos everywhere all the time. Like, you know, either you like them or you don't. I think people like, this is America, you know, it's freedom of speech, it's free, it's America, you know what I mean? Like, it's America. Like, you should be able to do what you want to do, but also each business has their right to say, we want this and we don't want that. So the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo does that. Okay, and then people are going to have to adjust.
And what happens to an institution like the rodeo if they let anything go there?
Well, if they continue to let anything go.
Which they're not doing, but I'm saying in theory, if people want to come the way they want to come, they want to behave the way they want to behave, what happens to an institution like that?
Well, you know, in the church, they say come as you are, but you still know not to wear a low-cut dress and your butt cheeks out.
Do you know that? we was just talking about that a couple weeks ago with the first ladies. Okay, so do we know that?
Right.
Do they really know that? This is why throughout history, listen, man, you had to put restrictions on them because they'll just run away with whatever's, whatever you let me do, it's your fault you let me do it.
So it's scooting over from the church into the streets. But you can't, if they let that go, then anything goes. It's like going to a strip club and just say, hey, put a pole in the middle of the rodeo, and then there you go. It's a whole show for people. But I think they need to get a hold of it now if they're going to do something to kind of keep it in decency and in order.
All right, and wrap us up.
I mean, I just think that whatever the artists are singing, dancing, and looking like, the crowd may sing, dance, and look like that too. And so you can't be surprised. And that's across all cultures. Yep. I mean, you think of Daisy Dukes in the 70s with the Dukes of Hazzards, like sex sells, and that's all a part. That was the 80s? Okay, the 80s. My bad. You see, I wasn't around then. I didn't know. I just, okay.
Now, you know what? These two aunties up here, they making it look bad, honestly. They're really making it look bad. They're kind of taking a loosey-goosey, I was a party girl back in my day attitude about the whole thing. And to be fair, as I was pulling up, quote, research for this video, there's a lot of ass and cheeks involved in researching this video. It was a great labor, I'm telling you. The things I do for content, I swear to God. But as I was pulling up research for this video, I will admit there was so much ass and cheeks on display at the Houston Rodeo. Even black women are like, you know what? I'm actually sick of you bitches. I'm actually sick of you bitches. There's so much booty out here that I'm tired of you bitches. All right. And that is refreshing. I got a lot of video of black women like, you know what? We just need to stop. All right. It's too goddamn much. So hit the like, women. Shout out to Keisha.
I just got back from the Houston Rodeo, and I want to make something very abundantly clear. I am never the one or the two to play with. We went to go see the white Jasmine Sullivan tonight, Kelly Clarkson, if you don't know. And you know what? I was ecstatic. I couldn't wait. I have been waiting to see Kelly Clarkson for so long. So, I get there tonight, and I have to make a pit stop because I have some friends in the club area. And this is my city. I'm a Houstonian. I do Houstonian-esque things. So I went to go to the club section first to go check on some things. I get to our seats a little late. Me and my friend, we get to our seats a little late. Mind you, there are two ladies sitting in my seat. They know they're in our seats. That's fine. It's okay. I wave to them from this side. I say, right there, come on down. These are great seats, mind you. Row B and section 100s. We're in the 100s and we're in row B. We're in a great section. Pay no mind to this. It's just jail.
You know what? I think I dropped the wrong video. This is just some regular drama. This is girl drama. Hold on. We come back to her drama in a minute. Let me start this one over again.
From people complaining in Houston, about girls' booties being out at the rodeo. But I'm like, it's always butt out at the rodeo. It's always butt out in Houston. Every time I've been in Houston, everybody had ass out. And Houston got some thick ass girls. So, granted, I was only there for a couple of days. And I wasn't there during spring break. So it might have been like a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I was seeing video after video. I'm like, it really must have been ass everywhere because I'm like, it was coming from the guys, which I was shocked, and it was coming from the girls. I think the guys just wanted to join in the conversation because y'all know y'all like looking at ass. Okay, let's stop. Don't y'all always be wearing booty shorts and showing ass in Houston? This ain't the first rodeo, literally. And don't be coming in my comments telling me not to mind Houston's business. Y'all came with my FYP, okay? I was minding my business in New York, okay? Minding my business in Harlem, and here y'all go, okay? From people complaining in Houston, about girls.
A dress code in place for the Houston Rodeo is insane. The fact that those people had to put a dress code in place for the Houston Rodeo is insane. Okay? I have been in Houston for 21 years, and I have never seen them have a dress code. because people know how to dress when they go to the rodeo. The rodeo is a family event. You don't go in there with your ass out, titties out. Put some clothes on. And these spring breakers, don't come to Houston. Don't come to Houston. This is not a spring break place. Ain't no beaches here. Go to the beach. And the rodeo is not for spring break. Y'all showed y'all natural black asses down at that rodeo. Y'all are so embarrassing. The fact that those people had to
also report this. Rodeo Houston has a new dress code that was updated today. Well, I'm sorry, it's a new code of conduct that addresses a lot of the concerns people have had about rodeo the last week or so. And probably the biggest thing is proper attire must be worn on rodeo grounds at all times. It notes that you can't have any type of obscene language or graphics, torn clothing, visible undergarments. Y'all didn't have visible undergarments. I had skin out. Or clothing which by nature exposes excessive portions of skin that may be viewed as inappropriate for a family environment. That was probably the biggest complaint that I kept seeing. It's a family environment. And so I'm glad that language was put in here specifically in the code of conduct. Talks about
the fact that we have to constantly remind the Black audience that this is a family event. I think you should also explain what family event means. You can't just say family environment and expect people to know what that means. Some of these people smoke weed with their babies. Some of these people sell drugs in front of their children. You have no idea what their interpretation of family actually means. So when you say this is a family environment, you got to be more specific, all right? You got to like connect the dots for people sometimes. You just can't rely on what you think is common knowledge or common sense. That's just not how it really works. In case you didn't know, I'm just saying.
Portions of skin that may be viewed as inappropriate for a family environment. That was probably the biggest complaint that I kept seeing. It's a family environment. And so I'm glad that language was put in here specifically in the code of conduct. Talks about
SKC, why would you not go to the Houston rodeo this year? It's a family environment, SKC. Why would you not? Of all people, I expect you to take your kids to the Houston rodeo. It's a family environment.
Clothing or colors that are tied to criminal gang behavior as well. It also just kind of reiterates what can get you kicked out the rodeo, being threatening, belligerent, hostile, disorderly, all of that. I saw a video today. They were down there tussling in the hideout yesterday. It was a fight that drew blood. People were bleeding, and the band played on. While they were tussling, the band was in the background playing, which was crazy.
I would have kept playing too. Just like the orchestra, just like the orchestra on the Titanic, I would have kept playing too. Why would I stop? Why would I stop? Don't let the music stop, all right? We don't stop until somebody falls down and doesn't get up. Even then, we might keep playing. We'll just switch to a better song.
To me, they also note that we reserve the right to deny admission to or remove any person, which I think is important. If you're going to take the risk of wearing clothing that would not fit within this dress code, you need to be willing to not get your money back. And so I think that's probably the biggest enforcement piece, that you can get kicked out and likely would not receive a refund based on what I'm reading here.
All right, SKC is giving us Houston rodeo pro tips, y'all. If you want to avoid the melanated chaos, go to the part where the live animals are. You know, Black people and live animals have a very precarious relationship. So you're not gonna find a lot of the Black folk over there near the cattle, the goats, and the horses and all that. Not maybe by the horses, maybe a little bit by the horses, but yeah, Black folk generally don't care about what's the word? Animal husbandry. They're not really big fans of the art of animal husbandry.
Of course, I don't know. There's nothing about unaccompanied minors, which has been a concern I've also read. And I saw somebody over here talk about that the state fair in Dallas actually made a rule where you could not, unaccompanied minors must have an escort into the grounds after 5 p.m. That's real early. 5 p.m. is early. And you could walk around freely inside, but in order to enter, you had to have somebody over 21. And so that's not included in here, but I'm sure that's being discussed because I've seen complaints about unaccompanied minors in the evening time at the rodeo. Other thing too, it talks about no standing or walking or running in large groups. They've been like mobbing through there in these kind of large waves of young people going through that carnival, which is probably how that incident, the kind of stampede that started over the weekend probably started. The other concern that I must...
These niggas had a stampede. They don't even run cattle in Texas anymore. That whole industry is different now. You know, like in the Wild West days, you'd see a big herd of cattle roaming through like some prairie land or something like that. I don't even think they do that no more. And you niggas managed to have a stampede in 2026. Oh my God.
Mentioned as a Black person who's been around in Houston for several iterations of dress codes, a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is the case for rodeo, but as we know, a lot of dress codes in Houston oftentimes are applied unfairly to Black people. And so I hope that whoever is going to be enforcing this, that there is some training and discussions about that, because I don't want to see stories where it's like,
what do you mean by training? What do you mean by training? What is that supposed to mean? They're gonna train Negroes to behave at the Houston Fair? What does that mean?
that we're walking through and unfairly to Black people. And so I hope that whoever is going to be enforcing this, that there is some training.
Oh, they need Black sensitivity training. Oh, so you don't be unfair to
around in Houston for
Keisha
several
and Pookie.
iterations of dress codes. A lot of times, and I'm not saying this is the case for rodeo, but as we know, a lot of dress codes in Houston oftentimes are applied unfairly to Black people. And so I hope that whoever is going to be enforcing this, that there is some training and discussions about that, because I don't want to see stories where it's like that we're walking through and it's only Black people getting stopped at the gate and others are walking through with similar clothing that is not within the dress code. So you have to be so intentional in that. And so I hope the rodeo is prepared to do that. This could be a huge shift right in the middle of rodeo. So we'll
Just
see how
wait
that
for it,
plays out.
y'all. Just wait for it. Any minute now, appropriate attire is racist. Mark my words. I promise you, we're only moments away from appropriate attire officially becoming racist.
I'm not sure how they're going to enforce it, if it'll be enforced. That's not clear to me from the statement. But y'all, Houstonians of all backgrounds, including Black people, were calling for dress code. It's probably the most, and Black Houstonians are very aware of dress code issues. This is the most I've ever heard. Even my Black lawyer friends were like, bring dress code now, please. Okay, it is now on their website as well. Not clear about how it's going to be enforced, though. So there you have it. We now have a dress code for Rodeo Houston and an additional code of conduct as well. Hot off the presses. Fox 26.
Some of these rodeo outfits is getting out of hand, and I gotta let y'all know that y'all doing too much in my city. Reminder for anybody that didn't know, the Texas Rodeo is a family event, especially during the daytime. I love to see titties and ass just as much as the next man. Probably more than the next man, but it's the time and place that separates class and standard from attention and just doing way too much. I know that 3 years ago, 80% of y'all wasn't even wearing rodeo gear if it wasn't for Bun B. I get that. The culture has shifted and more Black people are specifically coming to the rodeo to partake in Texas culture. But partaking in Texas culture don't mean that your ass needs to be out and we need to see your whole areola. Especially not during 3 o'clock in the day when husbands, wives, grandparents, aunties, and uncles are taking these young kids to the carnival to ride some ride, enjoy the dessert, play some games. They shouldn't have to worry about their kids looking at the bottom of your ass cheek or them dark spots on the inside of your thigh that's clearly visible to everybody. Now we doing too much, boo. It can't be that important to have that one picture moment in front of the big Ferris wheel with all of your ass out. To the gay males, let me let y'all know something too. We talking about time and place. Some of y'all that's coming out here, they got these faux leather Prince pants with the ass out. If you wearing that during the nighttime, going to a nightclub and you downtime, it's free game. It is what it is. But at 4:37 during the day on a random Tuesday or Wednesday, you walk around NRG in the carnival with your ass out? Come on, playboy. My nigga, that's just doing way too much. It's families here, bro. You not finna find the nigga that you looking for during this time of the day. And I know you still going back home to change clothes, unless you just gonna walk around and be musty like that, because you know Houston is human. That's what I'm saying when I say attention. and doing too much. For those of you that are wearing Daisy Dukes and crop top and the Dukes have your whole ass covered, I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all still playing within bounds. But y'all know who I'm talking to and y'all know what I'm talking about. And this is coming from a person that has a major voice in my city, and I'm saying it with love. Let's shift some of these wardrobes and let's raise the standard back up of rodeo attire. Let's not buy everything from Amazon or Shein that's see-through, that's Western related, that you think might look cute. Especially don't wear that shit during the day. It's a family event where older people and kids will be. That's all I got, man. Hey, man, say, man. Some of these
is y'all took that idea of come as you are and thought it meant come however you want. I saw 2 videos today that mentioned the Houston Rodeo outfits incident where girls keep dressing up in like super revealing outfits. There's 2 videos in the caption. The first one shows you exactly what I'm talking about if you don't know. And the second video is a girl giving her opinion about the standards that people should have with how they dress and how they act in public. And I wanted to add to that. The reason people, specifically women, are so comfortable dressing and acting any kind of way, no matter the place or time of day, is body positivity. Let me explain. The original concept of come as you are, you don't need to change or modify yourself to fit some kind of beauty standard, that original idea is not the problem. The problem is y'all took that idea of come as you are and thought it meant come however you want. I saw a video probably like over a year ago of a woman talking about how she saw a bunch of bubble skirts at Disneyland. Like the idea.
While we're speaking of Nirvana, that was a great song, by the way. Come as you are, as you were, as you want me to be. Anyway, back to this bullshit.
The idea of you having your ass out at a place meant for families and children is completely unacceptable. Like, that's a no-brainer. My only issue with any of this is that there's a time and a place. Just like how that teacher, I think she went by Teacher Bay or something like that, wore strappy heels to school. That's very inappropriate. Now, do heels scream sex, money, drugs? No, it's just inappropriate for a school setting. If you're in a bubble skirt in a club in Miami at 2 in the morning, no one's going to bat an eye. But if you're in a bubble skirt at Universal or Disneyland at 2 in the afternoon, you're going to stick out. Probably because parents don't want your ass out in front of their kids. The same thing applies to how you act. Just like at that Broadway show where that one guy was yelling at the girls for singing along. What made those girls think it was okay to sing out loud at a Broadway show? I don't know. There used to be a much higher standard of how to dress and act in public, and as that's declined over the years, the delusion has risen. Y'all have deluded yourselves into thinking that your unruly behavior and your unnecessarily revealing outfits are acceptable, and they're not. The problem is y'all
You know what? I'm going to drag this show down to the bottom. All right. We were already scraping bottom, and I'm going to take us down a little bit closer to the bottom. All right. Because not only is Houston right now hosting Black Spring Break, but apparently the STDs are on the rise.
From 2020 and I know for spring break and all y'all going to Houston, I'm going to tell y'all what the STD rate has been from 2025 to 2026 in case you decided to go out there and hunch. Yeah, this real. I just thought somebody was calling me. Okay, syphilis has surged all the way up to 79% in the year 2025, leading into 2026.
Fifth, the what the, huh? What ages? Hold on. I'm sorry. I think I did that all wrong. Hold up now. Because I pressed the wrong button anyway. Let's go back here.
And I know for spring break and all y'all going to Houston, I'm going to tell y'all what the STD rate has been from 2025 to 2026 in case you decided to go out there and hunch. Yeah, this real. I just thought somebody was calling me. Okay, syphilis has surged all the way up to 79% in the year 2025, leading into 2026. HIV has surged and increased in 17%. Gonorrhea, chlamydia has surged 32%. And the ages are from 15 to 24 years.
15 to 24. You can't even get a driver's license and you got gonorrhea. How you got gonorrhea and you can't drive?
So with that, all the hot spots where they're saying like the main sources of these STDs are coming from: Montrose, downtown, OST, South Union area. The demographic is Black people, Hispanics, whites, ranging from the ages 15 to 35. Yeah, so if you went to Houston for spring break, I hope you didn't hunch nobody out there. Thank you. Have a good day. Be safe. Have fun.
And not only that, guess what else is happening in Houston? There is a trend going on right now, look it up, called First Day in Houston, where they are posting I guess trophy flicks of cracking on the first night, as we call it out here in the ghettos.
Make me come, he was knocked out.
We drop that trashy music from the background. First night in Houston. They're just making videos of the getting slurred out. I don't know who's getting slurred out. Is he getting slurred out? Is she getting slurred out? I don't know who the slur is anymore. But first night in Houston, it's a thing. It's a trend. They gone viral with it. Don't know what else to tell you. Shit nasty, though. It's real nasty out there in Houston, man. Shout out to SKC. If Birth of a Nation, the 1915 version, was re-released in theaters with modern day footage, would it be wrong? You know what? I do not want to entertain such coonery right now.
There's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low Black population.
Whew, shout out to SKC with the 5 ball. Hit that like button. Thanks for supporting the show, man. Appreciate y'all coming out today.
I need that money.
Give me the money. Give me the money for all that I would do. Give me the money.
If you were wondering why the Houston rodeo was shut down yesterday and people were kicked out earlier that paid a lot of good money to enjoy a rodeo, carnival, and show, I'm going to show you.
He's Nigerian. Possibly from somewhere else in West Africa, but my money says Nigerian. Y'all got Nigerian police in Houston? It's amazing.
If you were wondering why the Houston rodeo was shut down yesterday and people were kicked out earlier that paid a lot of good money to enjoy a rodeo, carnival, and show, I'm going to show you. Stick around.
Yeah, I could tell he was Nigerian by how he said rodeo. You come to the rodeo show, I'm like, this nigga not from here. I knew instantly. You say Houston is West Africa? Wow. It's because we already got a West Africa. Like there's a East New York. There's also a West New York that's not even in New York. There's like West Africa. It's not even in Africa. It's in Houston, actually. I can't tell if it's a dance or a fight. Help me out. Help me out here, chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think they were dancing. Put a 2 in the chat if you think they were fighting. I'm having a hard time telling the difference. I really can't sort it out. I'm unaccustomed to figuring out such conundrums. But what do you guys think? Are they fighting or are they dancing?
want to talk so much shit, but how do y'all go from fighting to dancing and laughing at the same time?
Okay, so it was both. It wasn't one, it wasn't two, it was actually three. It was 1 plus 2. Okay, it was 1 and 2. You got it. You got it. Some of you guys understand. You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
I can make this up, but this is a trash behavior. Like, very, very trash. All their parents failed them. That's all I can say.
You gonna let this Nigerian police with pink handcuffs talk shit about your mamas? All their parents failed them. This remind me of that scene from what was it, Menace to Society, where he was like, I feel sorry for your mother.
And at the same time, I can make this up, but this is a trash behavior. Like, very, very trash. All their parents failed them. That's all I can say. They have no upbringings. Why would you go to an event and act like that? You don't have your emotions intact. That's garbage.
Houston Rodeo has implemented a code of conduct as well as a dress code for the Houston Rodeo going forward, due in part to how people showed up for spring break to the rodeo. Now, I find this interesting because I also saw a TikTok yesterday of a young lady discussing bubble skirts and inappropriate behavior, and how bubble skirts and how some men were in kitchen and cocktails in Dallas dancing on tables with their shoes off.
As bad as I want to talk about the women, as easy as the women make it to talk bad about them, you niggas in Houston be dancing on tables barefoot? What type of man thought behavior is that?
I'm telling you, man, this the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
Niggas in Houston wear bubble skirts and dance barefoot on tables now? What type of man thought shit is going on here? You niggas wear bubble skirt. I don't even know what a bubble skirt is. Houston niggas know what bubble skirts are, and they dance on tables barefoot.
And the conversation always comes back to a time and a place and what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. And albeit the conversation is nuanced, but what I think people miss a lot of the mark is, at any point when you tell somebody that something is inappropriate or that they shouldn't be doing something, they're going to feel judged. Now, I do believe that to be true. So instead of doing that, I have learned to be like, your decisions are consequential. What you wear is consequential. How you act is consequential. So the consequence of y'all going down to Houston to a fair, the rodeo is a fair, dressed the way y'all were dressed, is that going forward, everybody now has to adhere to a code of conduct and a dress code.
That's right. He's damn right. Black women out here changing the rules. Black women are out here making new rules, y'all. They got new rules just because of black women.
We are absolutely winning right now. Absolutely. We have done more than change the conversation. We changed the balance of power in the federal government.
Right? So you know what I'm saying? So like the girls with the bubble skirts, nobody said you couldn't wear that bubble skirt. You could, and you can shit your bare ass on some random out public space and catch something in your cooter box, and that's the consequence of you wearing that bubble skirt.
You can catch something in your cooter box if you wear a bubble skirt. I'm learning fascinating things about girl life. I had no idea you could catch something in your cooter box. How does that work? Is it like a trap or something? Just like snap shut?
like y'all going to these airports and acting a fool off that liquor before y'all get on your flights and when y'all get on that flight. The consequence of getting on that note of drinking like that and drinking in excess and acting a fool on that flight is the no-fly list. Your actions, your decisions are consequential. Now, albeit when we get to dressing and men not keeping their hands to themselves because a woman got on certain stuff, like that is when the conversation gets nuanced. It does not get nuanced when you learn that every one of your actions will have a consequence. Every one of your decisions will have a consequence. And when you do it in mass, and when people do it in mass, that means in mass there will be consequences. So if you want to have that conversation about how people should move, you need to start asking them what their goal is and are they okay with living with the consequences, because that's the only way you're going to really hit them where they need to hit it, where they need to be hit, and that's an accountability.
Some years of living, have I ever had the rodeo put a dress code on? Go the fuck on. If you're not from here and you're visiting, y'all are fucking up what the shit we built. When I say the shit.
Hey, and shout out to the chat. Appreciate you. Black Latina 2026. Why are you deleting my messages? I do not delete messages whatsoever. I do not interfere with that. I've done my best to actually remove any training wheels from the chat, but YouTube has rules and bylaws. You know, they just don't do that sort of thing over here on YouTube land. So Black Latina, whatever the hell you were trying to type, you were pissing off the YouTube algorithm. And I apologize if you were getting censored unfairly. I cannot help it. I've done as much as I can. I don't know what else to do beyond that. And I promise you are not the only person in the chat who gets censored by the algorithm. So don't assume it's me, by the way. That's all I'm saying. Don't assume it's me. But I appreciate you sending the super chat nonetheless. That means you're still here watching the show. Glad I can keep you around watching the show, even if you can't participate fully. Appreciate your support, though. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. You got to help us beat the algorithm and the shadow ban and all that shit.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Yes.
I need that money.
We built, I mean, the stuff that we enjoy, the stuff that we look forward to, like Mardi Gras, New Orleans. Now, why the fuck do we have a dress code at the rodeo when common sense says that it's gonna be kids and family there, so we know not to dress like a stripper if you from Houston? Y'all sitting up here, going there, having a brawl like I'm talking about a WWE SmackDown. Y'all sitting up here shooting it up like the Wild Wild West. Y'all can tell y'all are not from here. Leave immediately. Because I can tell you now, this has never been in effect. Since I've been a little kid, this has never been in effect because anybody that's from Houston or from Texas, no, because y'all.
So what happened recently that chicks just started coming out to the rodeo half naked? And I mean, to be fair, I don't know what the typical like violence or crime rate around that type of thing is. So I expect when there's like, you know, a major black event in the area, there's probably going to be a little bit more chaos, a couple of street fights, a stabbing, some shit like that. But I don't know if that's the reason why they really changed the rules. I don't know. It could be. There definitely was some fighting. I don't think anybody got shot or stabbed or anything like that. There was just a couple of fights. And to be fair, a random street fight here and there isn't the worst thing ever. But the fact that the dress code is making the news, I mean, listen, apparently the booties were more violent than the actual violence. That's what I'm getting from the authorities in Houston right now. The booties were more violent than actual violence. That's saying something.
Going there like y'all are performing at the Cardi B tour, or y'all going on stage, y'all acting like y'all finna perform at Area 29. It don't add up. What the fuck y'all doing? It's kids kids around. How do y'all feel comfortable dressing with y'all ass half showing or y'all coochie just camel toe knuckles like that? How do y'all feel comfortable with that? And it's kids around. This is a family event. This is not Mardi Gras where you can have your whole cat out, your ass out if you want to. This not that. Ever told you about Southern hospitality? Go y'all asses home. We tired. We've been wreaking havoc off of you foreigners and you people that's from out of town for the last week. We tired of it. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Never in my dress code. I'm so here for it. So here for it. I've been living in Houston over 15 and a half, almost 15 and a half.
And shout out to Sin in the chat. She says, face it, they just don't want it to become another Freaknik. You know, you just reminded me. I was thinking about this Houston thing, and it's like the spirit of Freaknik is trying to come back to the real world. It's like a ghost trapped on the other side trying to break through to get back into the real world. And you niggas is trying to bring Freaknik back. You are really trying to bring the ghost of Freaknik back to life.
Years. And all of the time that I've been living here, all these fights and all this craziness, and then all of this half nakedness.
Okay, so the fighting is a little bit extra. Okay. I wasn't sure, but the fighting is a little bit extra compared to what normally happens on top of the booties. So there was fighting and booties. Two black staples, by the way.
Like, it's one thing to wear a little Daisy Duke situation, but why do your booty cheeks got to be hanging out? This is a family function, no matter how y'all feel about it. It's a family-oriented function, meaning pretend like it's like this. You know how y'all mamas and daddies used to have card parties and stuff in the house and in the backyard and different things like that, but they knew the kids were still going to be floating around, so they made it their business to not have their booties and stuff hanging out. This is the same type of situation. Granted, we're out, we're drinking, we're doing adult things, especially those of us that have grown kids, but why do you have to be out there naked? Like, I seen a lady with a thong and some chaps on. This, would you wear that to Disney World?
A thong and some chaps. Sounds like the cover of an adult movie. It's like some Debbie Duff Dallas type shit.
You wouldn't, right? Would you wear it to a day festival that catered to families? No, you wouldn't. So what are y'all? And then my thing is, what do you expect to catch like that? Like, whoever holler at you, understand that person is hollering at you for one reason and one reason only, baby, and it's not your personality. Hello. So why do you guys feel like you have to be naked to get attention? And if you have to be naked to get attention, that's telling you something. But I am very, 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 very glad.
Hold up now. We got some pushback from, I guess, a native Texan, maybe a Houstonian. What happened, Hood? Shout out to Kuna Coons, SKC in the chat. What happened, Hood, is a bunch of black transplants from other states have moved here. He's right, but they can fix it by having the Texas Rangers here. This nigga want to call Chuck Norris. Is that the only thing that can make niggas act right? You got to get Chuck Norris out here. Put a one in the chat if you think Chuck Norris can make niggas act right at the Houston Fair, at the Houston Rodeo. Is that what it's going to take? You got to get Walker, Texas Ranger out here beating niggas up? Tell me it's not that. Nah, it can't be that simple. We need Walker, Texas Ranger to come set these niggas right. We got to rectify these niggas. Got to bring some frontier justice to niggas. There was so much booty cheek at the Texas Rodeo, at the Houston Rodeo, that you had to call in the Texas Rangers. That is like a beautiful headline for a newspaper, by the way. So much booty at the Texas Fair, the Texas Rangers were called in to manage it. I told you, you're going to need a team of booty management professionals now. There's just so much booty floating around. You need trained experts to manage this shit. Give me 1 second, guys. My StreamYard is acting up in the background. I'll be right back with you.
That they implemented a dress code for the Houston Rodeo because it was something that needed to be done, because everybody that come here that don't live here, haven't been living here, that came here for spring break, they came here try to do the Houston Rodeo thing, and y'all came out here wrong. And y'all wonder why spring break keep getting shut down in all these cities. They keep putting all these rules and regulations locking y'all up.
You wonder why, do you? Shout out to SKC with the foul ball. Appreciate you, bro.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
You wonder why they're banning. Eventually, it's just going to go back to like the 1930s where they're just going to find ways to ban niggas. There's going to be a poll tax at the entrance to Burger King. There's going to be a poll tax at the entrance to the DMV. There's going to be a poll tax in front of every bar and nightclub. They're just going to find creative new ways to ban niggas. They're going to be playing classical music in all the train stations and buses now. They're just going to start banning niggas.
This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
Setting up what do they call it? Checkpoints and different things, sobriety checks and different things like that, because they want to push y'all out of their city, because y'all go to people's cities and act a fool and then think that people want to invite you back. No. I'm so glad people getting scammed. Yep, I said it. You shouldn't have been doing what you was doing in the first dang on place. Like, and then half of y'all don't read. So most of the time, y'all didn't even get scammed. You just didn't read the policy. Because a lot of these clubs, they have a policy, like restaurants. If you're not there by a certain time, they will give your section away. The problem I have with their policies is that I feel like they should give you a piece of your deposit back, or if you paid the whole thing up front, you should get 80% of your money back if they decide to give away your section. I do agree with that. But to show up 4 hours into the club being open, and you had to be there by 12, and you get there at 1:30, and then you complain, I'm not about to let your section just sit there, dude. I got to make some money. Most of the time, especially those that come a little early, don't stay all night. I worked in the club industry for a long time. And the big clubs, you have those that come early, then they leave, and then you can sell a section to somebody else. I've seen sections be sold twice in a night. And not because they put somebody out, because you have those that come early, get messed up, do their thing, go about their business, and then the next people come in and get the section. But however it goes, y'all got to start reading policies. Y'all do this stuff for a lot of things where y'all don't read. Reading is fundamental. The policy and the stipulations that they have on things. Now, granted, some
Hit the like button, guys. We want us to open the panel up today. You guys want to come up and chop it up about Houston Rodeo, attire, and Black Spring Break? Do me a favor, throw $1 in the hat. We got to pay the PANA tax, y'all, because you know how it is. They come up and totally ruin my perfectly pristine green $sign. And so we gotta make it up somehow. So you guys want to open up the floor, please throw $1 in the hat. But I am pleasantly surprised at a great deal of Black women online kind of calling it out. They're like, you know what? You bitches made them put rules on us, all right? Because of you bitches, they putting rules on us, and I'm not really feeling that. Shout out to the sisters trying to hold the line.
Y'all did get scammed, like super scammed. Like I heard that people had bought tickets off of Eventbrite for certain places, and then when they got there, the tickets weren't honored because they didn't actually put that up there. We are in the day and age of scammers. Scammers knew y'all was coming to Houston. So of course, anybody that know digital technology that's good at it, it ain't hard to put up something on Eventbrite. Why you think they did it on Eventbrite and not Ticketmaster? Hello? It's not hard to put an event on Eventbrite. And they got y'all. My thing is start double checking stuff. Go to these people's website. Send them an email prior to you spending your money. Say, hey, I'm interested in doing X, Y, and Z. What are your stipulations? What is the policy? Blah, 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 blah. Get all of the details and have them email it back to you in writing. That way, if they play in your face,
even when I went last year, it was not this bad. Like, there were people, in shorts. I mean, hello, it's Houston, it's humid, so I understand that. But like, to have your pure booty cheeks hanging out and everything, like, that's just not appropriate, y'all. And I think that we should just know better in general. Like, this is not freaking Halloween or something. Like, this is just the rodeo. People wear, appropriate shorts. They wear jeans. They wear overalls, whatever. But like, y'all took it way too far and made this an over sexualized experience. And I don't really understand why. The fights don't surprise me either, because that was happening last year when me and my sister went. We literally were there for 30 minutes and it got shut down, and then it started storming. So I don't think the rodeo will see me for a while, but.
And that's how it begins. Nope. This rodeo is too black for me. Can't come back here anymore. I've had that same feeling. I know exactly how it feels. This is why I don't be telling people about the cool shit I find. Keep that to myself, and I'll just bring the kids until, eventually it goes bad.
Honest, the rodeo enforcing the dress code was long overdue. There's been too many events and occasions where people have showed their behind, literally. And I've been seeing people's think pieces saying these are people coming from out of town doing this stuff. No, it's not. It's not. This is Houstonians doing this.
Oh, don't blame the new niggas, SKC. You heard what Keisha said. You can't just blame the new niggas, all right? This is black Houston culture, all right? This is Trillville. This is Pimp C. Is it Pimp C? No, not Pimp C. Who from Houston? Who from Houston? What rapper from Houston? Like Bum B or something? Lil Flippin' them? Who's a Houston rapper? This is Houston culture. Don't be blaming the new niggas. Soon as the nigga moved to Houston, that Pimp C, yeah, Pimp C. Okay, I was reading it wrong. I knew I had my rap correct. UGK, fact. Soon as niggas moved to Houston, Scarface, Slim Thugger, DJ Screw, these niggas did it. Blame these niggas. These niggas are the reason why Houston made the news at the rodeo. Don't blame the new niggas. It wasn't me. That's all I'm saying. You got to blame Houston niggas too. And shout out to my man Ninja Man with the $5. Appreciate everybody supporting the show on Venmo. Venmo is more like Cash App. They don't take 30% off the top. So shout out to everybody who ever donated on the Venmo. The Venmo address is crawling at the bottom of the screen. Shout out to my man Ninja Man with the $5 for the panic attacks. Appreciate you guys coming through. Mystery with the $2 for the panic attacks. My man H. Woodist with the $1.99. Bring back shame and embarrassment. You have to do it. You have to do it. How else can you make it stop? You have to bring back shame and embarrassment. You have to make the hoes mad unapologetically.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
When my life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Too. Let's not get it twisted and act like all this is on the outsiders, the spring breakers and stuff like this. No, there are also Houstonians that dress like this as well, coming into public spaces where there are children and having no decorum. Let me tell y'all where the problem lies. It starts at home. You got these young parents or these parents who weren't taught themselves that's raising the kids that's coming out today. And they have taught them no shame. We keep saying bring back shame. Nobody is shaming anybody enough. If these women had the mindset that, oh, I shouldn't be doing stuff like this, like I should have a little more decorum about myself, they wouldn't come outside looking the way they do. It starts at home. I'm sorry, because my dad, like, I used to wear like little stuff, but my dad would give me the look, is that how you want to present yourself today? Like, it would never be anything crazy, but just him saying stuff like that to just a pair of shorts put me in the mindset, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear that. But we have been losing recipes for a while. We don't have the elders that we used to have back in the day that used to tell us, oh, no pants in church. You need to wear a dress to church. You need to have your dress below your knees. Stuff like that. They don't have decorum because they weren't taught it. And I know these things aren't being taught because we are the new adults. And if the people that I grew up with are the ones being the adults and the ones that's allowing their kids and stuff to go outside, I know damn well they weren't taught decorum at home. I went to school with these hoes. And I'm really tired of everyone trying to make it a thing where, oh, it was just the people, it's outsiders doing this that came into Houston do it. No, it was not. I'm more so disgusted that anybody would want to be outside with their bare ass cheeks out, sitting on public chairs and on these rides at the rodeo.
Ew. Y'all had y'all cheeks out on public toilets. Ew. Y'all nasty.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
With your bare ass cheeks out. Are y'all not scared of crabs and everything else? Like, I'm sorry. There's just no way in hell y'all could catch me outside with my whole coochie out just for the sake of rodeo. It's not happening. The amount of children I've seen out there and the amount of people barely dressed I saw.
Going outside with your bare cooch showing. Think of the children. None of you niggas think of the children. Just coming out there with your bare cooch flapping in the wind.
How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the Black community?
It was disgusting, and I'm absolutely not shocked that Rodeo is enforcing a dress code for the years to come, but it should have been enforced. I'm sorry.
Native Houstonian here. Don't tell us how we should feel about the rodeo that we've been going to since we were children and our parents have been going to since they were children. The rodeo is a children-friendly event. It is a family-friendly event.
Yes, it's a family-friendly event. I think you have to explain what that means to the community.
What Black community? It's a Black environment with Black women and Black children in it.
When you say family-friendly event, I don't think that word conveys all of the imagery that you intend to convey when you say the phrase family-friendly. It doesn't mean what you think it means to the people you're saying it to.
How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the Black community?
Native Houstonian here. Don't tell us how we should feel about the rodeo that we've been going to since we were children and our parents have been going to since they were children. The rodeo is a children-friendly event. It is a family-friendly event. All that money that's spent at the rodeo gets donated to children's organizations. It's a fundraiser. I literally just saw someone say, well, after dark, kids don't need to be out there. Bitch, you're an out-of-towner. Don't tell us where to bring our kids to our event that we've been going to since we were fucking kids, bitch. Because when we were kids, guess what? We were there after dark. You know why? Because it's a child-friendly event. It's one of the few events that children are actually welcome after dark. I saw someone else saying, well, it's not a kid-friendly event because they have alcohol. Okay, they have alcohol at Astros games. Does that mean you can't bring your kids to an Astros game? Of course, there are some things for the parents, but overall, it is a child-friendly event. It is a family-friendly event.
Yeah, parents should be allowed to drink beer and or wine, at the very least, at a ball game.
Just because they serve beer and wine doesn't mean that you're not allowed to bring your children and it's not a family-friendly event. They have mutton busting at the rodeo. It's a carnival. They have piglet races. Like, they have
mutton busting. I learned what mutton busting is today. Goddamn sheep are slippery. Hey, what's going on, bro? We got a guest on the panel. My man Nardito82. What's going on, bro? Mic check, mic check. You can unmute yourself.
There we go. Hello?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great here. I'm surprised at the shenanigans over at the Houston Rodeo, man. You got anything to add to that whole debacle?
I remember looking at some stuff because this was way before the Freaknik documentary came out. And I was like, what caused Freaknik to change? And my theory, the conclusion I came up with, is the internet. Because in 93, they say that that was the best Freaknik ever, 93, 94. And the internet came mainstream in 95. And it seemed like 3 years after that, that's when the city of Atlanta shut Freaknik down. So if there was no internet and it was only locals who went to these places and people, family or locals, it would be a much better environment. But once you open it up to the masses, all this chaos ensues.
I think that is a fair bet. The internet does widen your reach without much effort.
And unfortunately, the most degenerate people decide to swarm the city. I stay in the country. I'm far, 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 far away from all this madness.
Well, you're that far in the country, you don't need to drive to a special event to see rodeo stuff, I imagine.
No, I can just drive around the corner and see all the cows and horses I want.
Okay, see what's going on, man. Mommy, don't mind me. I'm trying to eat my snacks as we get through the show. I'm trying to snack healthy while we do the show. What's going on, SKC?
Hey, what's going on, man? Oh man, I don't know. I think it was a couple of years ago where I was talking with the wife and we decided, yeah, we're not doing the rodeo anymore. But it was like you could kind of see the handwriting on the wall with certain things that was being allowed to exist. So I mean, it is what it is.
A question I just had a question just popped up in my mind. Inside thought: Is the black dollar? Is the black dollar really that valuable?
To the
I
rodeo,
think
I
I
doubt
think
it.
Target answered that question.
Right.
No, no. What I'm saying is, all these events, everybody seems to cater to the black dollar. And if you listen to Jamal Bryant and everybody, $1 trillion in capital and assets and blah 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 and yada yada yada. We know the story. But why does everybody cater to a crowd that is nothing but chaos and utter destruction?
I think it's a very successful media propaganda campaign. You know, the image of Black America is a very much media projected thing. It doesn't always track to the statistical data, like the police shootings or whatever. There's no statistical data to back up this hypersensitivity to police shootings. But if you watch the media, we're being murdered by the police like every other day.
Yeah, I think it's that. I don't think it's a catering to the quote unquote black dollar because I don't think the black dollar is that powerful. I think it's more or less not wanting to have to deal with um, potential lawsuits and other issues that come along with bad media with any of these people that were fighting each other at will and throwing haymakers and doing all this stuff will all of a sudden, if a police officer did something, they'll act as if they were, just some hapless victim
Yeah.
that was destroyed by the white man. And,
Yeah.
and they need $17 million in order to make amends for this, so.
Yeah, they'll make it seem like they were on the side of this. They were on the sidewalk with sidewalk chalk drawing mathematical calculations to launch the next spaceship into the moon.
Yeah.
And so Benjamin Crump and people of his ilk, Crump, Sharpton, and all them are the reason why this chaos is allowed to ensue.
Not the sole reason, but they like cogs in the wheel, I would imagine. But this is even bigger than them. This is what I was talking about Jamal Bryant yesterday. Like, you're mad at him, but he basically ran the play as it was written up in the playbook. This is kind of the game. And so it's not even any one person's, responsibility or fault at this point. They're all just cogs in a big machine now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think another thing is that I want to say it was like 2002 or something like that. But I think that the Houston Rodeo was so extremely down when they let Bun B do a show at the rodeo. And I was like, yeah, it's over after that.
And this is a problem I really start to have with like the projection or promotion of Black culture, they're not promoting like Black people per se who are just talented in something in a particular field. They're promoting a very particular image of Black culture and Blackness. It's like a crafted performative Blackness, right? And so what they wind up doing once they introduce that Blackness is inevitably lowering the quality of whatever it is they attach Blackness to. So when you bring Bum B to the Houston Rodeo, like you said, it's only a matter of time before it becomes the BBL display.
Correct. And I would say the horrible thing about it is there is a Black section of the trail ride that kind of is supposed to give homage to Black cowboys of old and all of that. But you know, of course, they're not gonna feature any of that in any of those shows or whatever. It's just all about, you know, gangster stuff and all that other junk. So it's weird how they were pining so hard to attach themselves to a rodeo culture that has nothing to do with rap at all.
You know, I remember, not that Beyonce is even responsible for this, because Black folk did have, and I'm newly learning this, but there is a sort of like rural rodeo outdoorsy culture that pockets of Black America engage in. All right, I think somebody called Zydeco or something like that, but there is like a sort of very rural.
Oh, Zydeco.
Zydeco.
That's
how
that
it's
New
pronounced.
Orleans thing. Yeah.
Okay, right. But then the point I'm making is like not everything that's Black is just sort of like urbanized and ghetto. However, I have noticed even when Black folk meet up in the woods and ride ATVs and do all the kind of shit that you see a bunch of white folk doing, technically, there is a lot more booty cheeks at those events too. It's just a thing that goes with the culture. And I realize it's like, you know, there's just this need to kind of blacken things up and pull everything down to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's like I don't know how to convey it in short, because there's just so much that's I don't know, the ridiculousness of it all. Just it's in the extreme. In fact, since you brought up New Orleans, I'm gonna send you something and you tell me what you think.
But let me run this clip a little longer.
Face painting, like it is a family focused event. It is a fundraiser for children's organizations. I don't need any out of towners using their out of town tacky ghetto bullshit as a guideline for how the rodeo is supposed to operate. From sun up to sundown, it's a child friendly event. Alcohol or no alcohol, it's a child friendly event. Dress and act accordingly.
I'm just curious. I got to do this one more time. What does child-friendly event mean if you're Black, though? Because I'm always told that there's a Black, you know, there's white patriarchy, Black patriarchy. We just had that whole battle the other day. What does it mean if you're Black, though? Well, I want to wrap up this last bit of internet drama. What are you about to say, SKC?
Well, I was gonna say, years ago, I remember making a statement that Das Communitas is anti-family.
You made that statement.
Correct. So, I mean, it is what it is. It in every facet, in every way, the culture is anti-family.
So what does family friendly mean to a group of people who are by nature relatively anti-family? This is where I'm at. Like I'm struggling with that conceptual reality.
It doesn't mean anything.
I remember when I was younger, and daytime was for the kids. Like if there was a birthday party, food, games, you cut on the water hose, hook it up to the sprinkler, you know, kids get wet, penny tail on the donkey, blah blah blah. But once the kids went to sleep, that's when the radio came out, the beer and the liquor was passed around.
You remember being in the house when the street lights came on?
Yeah,
that was the thing until I was like 14ish or something.
Yeah, just be home before the lights come on.
Right.
That was it. Like when we were growing up, there was a universal standard that was enforced by the community.
Those were white man standards.
Hey, we can call it what we want. You said it, not me. But there was a universal standard that was implied, and society functioned a lot better.
All I'm going to say is we need to stop allowing people to tell us that pattern recognition is racist.
I don't know. You know, Snowman. I was telling Hood earlier. A lot of this could be fixed if they would just have the Texas Rangers there. And somebody in the comments they stated that how bad it would look to have these white men on horses wrangling these Negroes.
Hey, SKC, you don't even need the Texas Rangers. All you need to do is tell them ICE is going to be there and they won't show up because they're afraid they'll be deported.
White guys on horses lassoing BBL suspects. The imagery of it all will be amazing.
That should be part of the rodeo.
I know.
Imagine trying to fit a lasso around the BBL. Damn, the BBL rodeo. That would be amazing.
Look at you. You solved it for next year.
Right. Now we're just making it blacker. Like I said, it's now it's just a race to the bottom.
And another thing, I don't know the other person that was up here, Great American. I don't know if you ever been to the Houston Rodeo or anything, but I know one thing that they could do to fix it is they should have the police memorial a part of the rodeo.
Oh nah, they will desecrate that. You cannot do that. And I'm not even heavily anti-cop, especially like a memorial. But no, not for this crowd. They will desecrate that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is it's either going to go one way or the other. Either a whole bunch of people are going to get arrested, or they're not going to show up.
I know the motto for the state of Georgia is come for vacation, leave on probation. Only thing you need to do is prosecute a few people, and all this shit will stop. For some odd reason, for the past decade, a lot of this crowd has been able to just do shit and get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to my cousin in Florida. He literally he went down there with some of his homeboys or whatever because they were like all in the music stuff. And you know how that's like a whole clubbing party world. And a bunch of drunk assholes. And my cousin is a drunk asshole. And he goes down there, and I don't even know what he got locked up for, but he spent a couple of weeks in jail, and then he got out and came all the way back up to New York, and he never went back.
Yeah, I mean, to what you were saying about people, getting away with doing this stuff. I mean, that's why I have a whole issue with the whole talking point of when people say that black men are disproportionately incarcerated. I mean, of course you're disproportionately arrested and incarcerated if you're being arrested 15, 20 times and let go 15, 20 times in the same 5 years for the same 5 freaking crimes.
Well, I think it's proportional to the amount of crime niggas commit. I mean, that's how you square that circle real easily. Black men are not disproportionately arrested. They're disproportionately criminals. Like, that's just the simple reality of it. Niggas do a lot of little, and it's not even like violence not violence. It's not even like all murder or stuff like that. I'm not even saying that. But there's just a lot of petty little stuff that happens, and then you get locked up for it.
Well, Hood, I'm even going as far as when they sit and say judges give longer sentences to black people. How is that even possible? If that's possible, how do you have someone who was incarcerated 21 times on a subway that stabbed some girl in the neck?
Man, Snowman, did you hear that story out of is it Minnesota or Michigan?
Which one?
Oh, like you guys haven't covered that? Hood hasn't covered it?
In Michigan, which one? What do you mean?
The black dude that ran somebody off the road, smashed into their car, got a shotgun, shot that 3-year-old, and then murdered a 70-year-old woman that was trying to intervene.
No, stories like that never make like the national headlines for obvious reasons.
Red said he had 71 arrests.
Wow.
So I remember when I was 17, my mentor, back then I was ignorant, right? I was an ignorant Democrat. There's 3 types of Democrats: ignorant, crazy, and evil. and I was one of the ignorant ones, and I was going on my whole disproportion, blah blah blah. And my mentor asked me this. He was like, "Well, if you know that the game is rigged, why would you play it? Meaning, if you know that all these odds are stacked up against you, why would you go on ahead and do some stupid shit to try to get yourself locked up?"
Yo, this whole scene you're showing looks sketch, dude. I would not be nowhere. Dude, too many people with their hands on their waistband for me.
I'm walking to the nearest group of white people and I'm calling the police.
For real.
I'm getting away from you niggas immediately.
This is the reason why I'm glad I stay in the country. Oh man.
Yeah. I can't do the urban crowded life no more. I like life too much to be around this type of shit.
Hood, and that's why people get scared when they see black men carrying weapons, man. They can't be like normal people. I open carry myself all the time. I don't walk around with my hand rested on my pistol.
I don't advise open carry around a bunch of niggas anyway. Somebody gonna try you. You better off concealing that shit until you got to use it.
Nah, dude, I want them to know that I'll shoot them.
You know,
but I ain't got to constantly keep my hand on my gun to make. I mean, that kind of crap is dumb. Why you walk? What's the point in concealing it if you're going to sit there and basically,
Because they don't wear belts either. They don't have holsters. Nobody invests in a $20 or $40 holster.
Snowman, if there was and I said this earlier, but I long for the day of draconian hard rules to be enacted very swiftly. And I don't even mind if, I get affected in some way, or that doesn't even matter. I mean, I'm at the point now to where if accidental stuff began to happen, like, oh man, oh my goodness, there was a drone strike, I'm cool.
So what you're saying is you like the South Carolina motto: the hands of one are the hands of all.
So you're saying we should drone strike BBLs at the Houston Rodeo? Is that what you're saying, SKC? We should drone strike the Houston Rodeo BBLs.
What I'm saying is that way back in the day, we used to hear these stories back in the day, like stuff like the whole Tulsa, Oklahoma thing, and some other people would say, oh, in Philly they hit some group named Free or something like that, and they bombed them and all. And I don't know, I'm kind of the thought that maybe I'm starting to understand why.
So it's interesting you bring that up. So one day, I think I discovered Hood during the Ebony K. Williams saga about the bus driver, where she dated a bus driver. I think that's when I first ran across his content, right? And since then, he's opened up my eyes to a world that I didn't know exists, right? And as I've been watching this video,
that feels like the most honest, like the best compliment I've gotten on YouTube ever.
So, and as he's been going through these videos and you hear the stories about how the slaves left the plantation, I wonder, was this what it was like when they left the plantation?
Yeah, you know what? Birth of a Nation is exactly about that.
The way the story is told is that they would just let off the plantation and they were just walking around, do-do-dot. What do I do? But it was like, did they leave the plantation, wait till the sunset, and then try to go back in and raid the former slave owner's house, kill all the family, take over the house, and then somebody had to come and remove them from the house to make sure that the community stayed safe?
Listen, they wanted to do in America what they did in Haiti, but there was just too much guns and military strength in America to make it happen. They just couldn't connect the dots to make it happen like they pulled it off in Haiti.
So you're sitting and saying that basically these freed slaves tried to revolt and take back, the plantations and whatnot and whatever, but they lost.
I'm not saying they tried.
I'm saying, but they lost. So they're mad because...
I don't know what happened. That's what I'm saying. But it seems like the chaos that we're experiencing now, it's equivalent. Like I could see, I hate to say it, but if I was white, I could understand why a white person would want to join the Ku Klux Klan. Based off of all the content that Hood has covered.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. To Hood's credit, I didn't even know I was racist until I met him.
You weren't doing it right. I tried to tell you.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Hanging around with this little fucking loser.
I embrace my inner racist now, man. Thank you, Hood. You set me free.
No.
And
The thing is, though, hold on, real quick. Let me just jump
is,
in here. Let me jump in for a second because you were talking about something I wanted to highlight. We were talking about like The Birth of a Nation, that whole famous movie about racism and the slaves running amok. But the thing is, if you just kick all of these people out of the plantations, you just free all the slaves. That is no different than just dumping the jails onto the public. Like you just take a jail and shake it out like a piggy bank and dump all the prisoners right into a city. That is exactly what's happening once you just mass free all the slaves, right? Because there's no reason to assume that every single individual is a person who's a ready-made fit for upstanding Western civilization. And some of these motherfuckers have a grudge to get off. They got an axe to grind. And some of them are just big, strong, and dumb. There's not a lot of room in polite society for that guy. So, like, when you just unleash these people onto the world, yeah, not a lot of good things are going to happen.
Well, look, and let's be honest. The
Snowman,
white man's.
I have a question for you, Snowman. Could it have been that in times of old, the old serial killers were, like meant to cull the herd?
Oh my God! Speaking of serial killers,
I don't know. I mean, I could see some logic behind that. Demented mind out there to get rid of the weakest element.
And wouldn't they?
Because think about it. I see your because look, if you're really dumb enough to get caught up with a serial killer, you kind of are the weakest element.
Well, wouldn't they stave off certain events and things? Because they like big crowds and all of that stuff.
Speaking of serial killers, you know how much we always talk about like white men for media reasons. You have that
don't take that glory from us, man. Don't take that glory from us.
Listen. You're gonna have to get it back the hard way. All right, you're gonna have to get it back in blood. Because I've been learning that some of the most prolific serial killers in the country are heavily melanated, and I just learned about a recent group, the zebra killings of the 1970s in San Francisco Bay.
Shut your dirty mouth.
This was explicitly racially motivated killing, by the way. They were black kids from the San Francisco projects who were targeting random white folks, and they never let this story go national.
Yeah,
I'm only hearing about it today. Like yesterday, I heard about this.
Dude, you can get on Twitter and see that happening today in the streets.
Right.
Black kids out targeting nothing but white folks.
Yeah. So like, the media image of the black public versus like the online factual image, the less what do you call it? Manufactured, less well produced, the scripted image of blackness. The online image is way different.
You ever notice in these groups of or herds of black excellence that we see on the screen right now? You only ever
engineers?
See, yeah, these ninjineers that we have in front of us.
That sounds like a Disney. Sounds like you work for Disney.
There's actually
these great. You ever notice the only other race that you see as white women around these prolific ninjineers, like the two white women in Daisy Dukes you saw? You never see a white dude anywhere around ever.
It's a girl thing. Definitely a girl thing.
Well, Snowman, there's actually an easy fix to a lot of this. And it doesn't have, you don't have to take any draconian anything. I think what needs to be done with like a lot of these spring break things, or with Das Communitas and all of that, all you have to do is just mesh it all together with, some sort of Muslim event.
Ooh, chaos.
Chaos means chaos. I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, because the Muslim crowd and the native black population aren't that friendly on the whole.
There should be burkas and stuff in certain sections, and then you should see some of the dudes with the chains and they hands around they waist and all that stuff, trying to go over to those sections and different things, and then we just watch.
SKC, what is this tripe you sent me in the back chat?
Was that what? Holy what?
This nigga look like a lizard. What is this tripe?
Dude, he looks like that bird that fans his feathers out on the top of his head. What
Is
kind
he-
of?
Yeah,
Those are dollars. That's not even like, this nigga wearing money.
That's not even real money. That's fake money.
That's like Aztec money.
Yeah. Mayan money.
Those are $3
Mayan
bills.
bucks.
That shit's queer.
Got Mayan bucks.
No one hustling, working for the Mardi Gras. Carnival in New Orleans, I'm outside. Everybody talking about, boy, you suit cold. It's only one Super Sunday, it ain't the Super Bowl.
Man, they should have never gave y'all AI.
Dude, he peacocking hard, bro.
Dude, yeah, this is hard body peacocking right here. We was Aztec and shit. Man.
We here. We here.
I can't. I just can't with these niggas.
Wait, what? Great. Now, what's our motto? We was kings. We was kings.
My suit shining blingers with the chief sing. I'm walking up the street painted like Sting, painted like E Honda. Don't let me get behind you, coming with a cloud of ganja. I pass the St. Thomas walking.
Did he just say coming with a pound of ganja?
You know what?
Wow.
I miss the Hot Boys now. This shit just remind. Is that Manny Fresh in there, by the way? Who is this nigga? I miss the Hot Boys now. This shit just it just made me nostalgic for the Hot Boys when things were simpler and innocent. Life was a lot more innocent back when the Hot Boys were popping.
Why does that look like Carlos Mencia underneath that mask?
Anyway,
This will be next year's Vegas Showgirl outfit.
Yeah, no more. First the Mardi Gras.
It'll be all guys wearing.
Viva la Carnival.
All guys that identify as girls that were once guys that might be guys that are girls.
Oh no, not that song. Guys that like guys who like girls, who like boys, who like girls. Yeah, whatever.
Dude, our culture's cooked.
Look, you got to get to the full shot of it. You got to get the full shot.
Oh my gosh.
Hit play. I want to see more. I want to see more black excellence.
Oh man!
Looks like no one can make it rain.
Story.
Nobody can make it rain for this because he got a whole rain outfit on.
Dude, yeah, that motherfucker's going to make it rain, snow, and sleet.
You should take a second look in the mirror before attending, as they have updated their dress code.
ABC 13's Liliana Pearson spent the day talking to attendees and the rodeo CEO to find out what the changes are and how they're going to enforce it.
This may be a rodeo and livestock event, but it's also the perfect place to do some people watching as we all come dressed to impress. But now that perfect rodeo themed outfit might need a makeover, as rodeo officials say they have made changes to their code of conduct. This comes after an onslaught of social media posts about what some people are choosing to wear.
Boots.
Just as you guys watch this, look at the great comparison between other people and their dressing and what the Negro-dom is going to do.
I noticed that right away. Outside of the cowboy hats, the black side is looks very different.
Hey, well, but notice it's a bunch of what is the demographic of that group? Break it down by race and sex.
I don't even see that many Hispanics there. Probably a few, but I see mostly white and black at this thing.
Well, that's one thing though. Hood, there's a there's like a Spanish day or two, and you won't see any of that during the
They
during
don't
that
go to
those
the
days at
Mexican
all.
Day. So you mean
Yeah.
it's segregated like prison? Wow.
Hats and denim. If you're attending Rodeo Houston, the fashion is one of the first things you'll notice inside the gates. But the fashion has evolved over time. Some attendees say for the worse.
I mean, if you really want to keep it family friendly, I would suggest coming in like early.
I notice how the news keeps showing like booty shots of skinny white girls in mini skirts as if those are the reason. Like she's the reason why we're doing this. Like skinny white girls have been wearing mini skirts for a long time, and nobody ever wanted to alter the rodeo dress code because of it. I don't think it's Becky's skinny her what do you call those? Her cocktail dress or whatever, her cocktail skirt. No,
Yeah,
it's
you
not
saw her
because of that.
pulling down her jean skirt, man. That's too short. She shouldn't have been wearing it.
Like she's the reason. I like those Jameson sunglasses, by the way. I need to get me a pair of those. I haven't drunk enough Jameson to get me a pair of free shades. I got to step my game up.
Before 4-ish, between 10 to 4 would be a good time to, experience it with your family, appropriately, sure.
Rodeo CEO and President Chris Bowman says after a spike in feedback on clothing choices, they decided to listen and updated their dress code.
I think it's about making sure your skin is covered to some to a great extent, making sure that what you put on as you think about a 9 or 8 year old looking at you, would it be appropriate? Would they be asking questions?
New rodeo guidelines say they can deny
Wait, hold on,
or
pause. Is the rodeo going to implement Sharia law now?
Bro, who are they talking to? They're talking to people who let their 8 or 9 year olds see them in booty shorts all day long.
Yeah.
Doing TikToks in their booty shorts with the kids in the background. What are they talking about?
Son be smacking her ass while she twerking.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know, Chris. You don't know who you're talking to.
Well, that's what I said. I don't think family means the same thing to you people. You keep saying that word like it means something.
Well, and they're actually talking around the issue. They keep saying, too much skin showing, right? What does that mean, right? Maybe they're wearing a female's wearing a peasant shirt, but it's down around her, right underneath her not bicep, but her upper deltoids.
Yeah, now you can look at some of the rules and see that that's not applying to Becky. It's like Becky isn't covered without shirt or shoes.
Right.
But she's not wearing obscene graphics and gang language on shirts and stuff.
But see, that's always going to be the loophole when you try to enforce it with those types of people. See what I'm saying? They're not being exact and explicit. It's like you can't, like even in some Catholic schools or whatever, where there's dress codes and things like that. It's like your skirt cannot be above this many inches above your knees or whatever. They need to be explicit. It's like no showing your ass, your buttocks, and no showing your mammillary glands if you really want to be all,
Well, I got a hard break coming up in a few minutes. We're going to shut this down, but I just want to add one more thing. I want to reiterate this point. It's only a matter of time before we start calling the dress code policy racist. Mark my words, y'all.
I agree.
Oh yeah, it already happened. So it's been, as somebody who's worked the door a long time, there's people that we've had to implement dress codes for certain of those types of nights. If you catch my drift, right? Where all the Negroes show up. It's like, can't be with no ball caps, can't be sagging pants, can't be, sweatshirts and all that. You got to look like you're being presentable. And yes, a lot of these Negroes get upset and then they want to mumble under their breath, talk about racism and this and the other thing. It's like, well, what y'all come here and do, So I don't know. I just think, you really have to be explicit with these people and stand firm, because that's exactly what they're going to do.
Remove people wearing clothing with obscene images and language, excessively torn clothes, visible undergarments, or clothing that exposes portions of skin that may be considered inappropriate for a family environment. Bowman says what is and isn't appropriate is subjective. Neona Graves with Texas Southern University says subjective rules can create problems when it
And that's how they start to work the racism angle in. Oh, it's subjective. You just don't like big black booty cheeks.
comes to enforcing rules equitably.
But if we're just going off of eyesight, how do we say what is too short? How do we say what is too revealing? If someone has like a...
Because Are we not sitting? Is this news coverage not supposed to be about the way the blacks were acting? But yet you notice that all of the cuts that they keep showing, it's always a white woman wearing a short skirt, and they're showing nothing but black women wearing fully blue jeans, shirts dressed appropriately. What are they trying to do here? This is insane.
It's cowardice.
The same thing they
Cowardice.
always do. Right.
No, they're literally trying to change the narrative and make it like the white ones were the ones that were the white women were the problem, even though we know that it wasn't.
I told you.
That's them.
I picked up on that immediately watching the coverage, like, oh, y'all just playing with me now.
And like you, I think somebody mentioned, I think it was you, Hood. Everybody's afraid of a freaking lawsuit because everything's subjective.
Right.
Instead of being quite literal about, no, this is our expectations. Don't care if you black, white, candy stripe, it doesn't matter. Just everybody should be looking like this.
Notice this too. So they show a bunch of shots of white people as if random white folk are the reason why they want to change the dress code. But then when they want to talk about, oh well, this is all very subjective, who do they bring up? A black woman to represent. Like I told you, they're going to start calling it racist because we know who this is about, and you earned it. You deserve it. You did this. American Man, jump in here before we wrap this show up, bro. What's going on?
Does it ever end with these people?
Never.
No. You know the answer to that already. Why'd you ask the question?
Like, I don't understand.
You get a better question.
And listen, and SKC is correct. Like, goddamn, boy, I just brain fart. But he said something I agree with. Yeah, like if you start having accents, start doing certain things, I think I'm okay with that too. Because like I think it's getting to a point where extremism is needed for Keisha and her little bastards to like understand that people don't want to be around your shenanigans.
Well, SKC wants to drone strike the BBLs at the Houston Rodeo. I mean, I'm not against it either.
I second that motion.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Drone strike option.
No, I'm down. I mean, and to continue with the theme, Hood, I think the title is "Did Black Women Ruin the Houston Radio?" And just like old boy is talking about, do I simp for black women? Yes, that's them. Because if females of any culture are supposed to be the purveyors of culture, this is what we got. And now we have over emphasis on the mother being the parent. You know what I'm saying? And the fathers the men in their lives have no say whatsoever. And like you mentioned before earlier in your show here, that there's a moral ambiguity about the female, at least American female psyche.
Well, damn, I just had a brain fart, so I was about to say something. Anyway, we got to wrap this up in a hot minute. Anyway, we're gonna get up out of here.
Can I just say this real quick?
What it is. That's
so
what it
real
is.
quick. I wanted to point this out.
Yeah,
Did you notice how? Did you notice how the black chick, the one chick that was from Houston, said it's not Houston. It's not people from Houston. It's out of towners, right? Now, obviously that's Keisha deflecting. But here's the thing that they don't tell you. Every time this was somewhere else and people said, hey, maybe you should do better, that same chick was the one saying, leave them alone. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. They paid their money. And now, when it comes to her town and ruins her things, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was everybody else that did it. But y'all okayed all of that every place else and every other time.
Well, this is one incident where, just judging from the internet, I did come across one video so far where she was like, I don't care, I don't see the problem. But the overwhelming vast majority of the content that I'm pulling up about this, it's been so embarrassing that the women are kind of like embarrassed by extension. If I'm watching the videos come out, there's a lot of black women, like a heavy amount, like over
they aren't embarrassed.
70%. Or like, you know what, you bitches deserve this. And I'm just saying that's a positive development in the overall scheme of things.
So hold on. This is embarrassing, but everywhere I go, I must twerk. They were defending.
Progress, bro. Progress. It doesn't happen overnight.
Okay.
I'm just saying, this is a step in the right direction. But like I said, I do have a hard break coming up. I got to get out of here in a few minutes. But I thank you guys for coming up to another show. I didn't even know I was going to do this one. I started looking at this last night. I'm like, damn, we got to talk. Somebody pitched this to me anyway. Somebody told me to talk about spring break. And then I started looking at the Houston thing, and they kind of dovetail together anyway. So here we are. And thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate y'all for watching another show. I will be back maybe tomorrow with another one. Who knows? Maybe tonight with something else. We'll see what happens. But like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you guys later. Peace, y'all.
All right. Thank you.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help Black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.